Welcome, friends and nerds and whatever you want to call yourselves. Welcome. As you can see here, we have my girlfriend's PC, and today we're going to build a whole new this system into a whole new case. It's going to be great. Before I get started with that, make sure you like the video, subscribe for more content, and well, let's take a look at the new case, shall we? And here it is. This, as some of you might be aware, is the Lian Li LANcool II mesh. It has been reviewed by Gamers Nexus as the best case for thermals, and she got it in this nice white color. I think this is going to go really well. It's a beautiful case. The only downside is that to open the front of the case, you have to pull this down here, but just swings open like that. And there we have everything work inside. It comes with 3 RGB fans in the front. And we're going to populate it with some of our own. So let's get started. This PC I originally purchased from Outtakes PCs in July, just as a jumping off point for her to have with her first gaming PC. This way she can add all bits and pieces she wants as she goes, and I can have like cool little tech pieces to make videos on. I made sure when I was speccing this PC out with Outtakes, I told them to just toss it in the cheapest case that they had, because I knew we were going to be putting it all in a better case later on anyway. This case isn't a typical Outtakes PC's case, it's just the one that I had them put it all in to get us by. As you can clearly see, the disassembly process was pretty smooth, nothing to complain about, just getting all the parts out of the old case to swap into the new one. I removed the motherboard with as much stuff still plugged into it as possible to save time, so like as many as the cables, like the main power cables and the RAM and the CPU, I left them all in place. I didn't take them out and put them back in. The parts that I'm reusing from the old case are the MSI B450 Gaming Pro Carbon Max Wi-Fi craziness, 16 gigs of G.skill Trident Z Neo, Gigabyte RTX 2070 with the noisiest fans I have ever heard from any GPU ever, and I mean that. They are loud for no reason, like they rattle at anything over 90% speed. Seagate 750 watt power supply, and 2 Western Digital Black 500 gig NVMe drives. The AIO I put in this one is from my old PC. I replaced my AIO a couple of months ago for an EVGA one, and I decided to put the one that I pulled out of my PC into this one whenever we got a case that was big enough for a 360 radiator. Because the AIO that was originally in this PC was just way too small, and it was really getting toasty under loads, like ADC, which I know is passable, but I wanted it to run cooler than that. The air quotes new one that I'm putting in there is a Thermaltake Water 3.0 360. It's about 4 years old. It still works perfect like brand new, so it's a pretty massive upgrade from what she already had. And then I put the 3 fans that originally came on the Thermaltake AIO. I put them at the top and rear for exhaust, and then I used the 3 RGB fans that came with the case to cool the radiator down as intake. Oh, I forgot to mention that the CPU that's in here is a Ryzen 3600, non-X, just the 3600. It's absolutely perfect for everything that she does. She just games on it. She doesn't do any streaming. She doesn't make any videos, so it didn't really need to be ridiculous. It was cheap, cheerful, works perfectly fine. I just wanted it to run a little bit cooler. I obfuscated from doing all of my cable management in this video. I just cut the camera and then did all my cable management off screen. That way, this video wasn't an hour, 2 hours long. PC building videos are boring enough as it is, and I didn't want to put you guys all to sleep watching me route cables for as long as it took me to do. And at the end of the day, these metal panels that cover up at the back, I mean, they cover up all of your cable management work anyway, so it wasn't really necessary for me to show you guys all of that stuff. And If you guys wanted me to make a video on how to cable manage something properly later on, I could do that, but it doesn't seem like it was worth it for this video anyway. As far as like the actual building process, like putting everything into the Lian Li case, it was surprisingly simple and easy, and everything went in perfectly. All the cables went into these nice little routing spots, and everything was easy to cover up and make look nice. There was no issues with anything not fitting properly or looking wrong when it was in there. It just all went in perfectly fine. All the cutouts are in the perfect places for everything to go in and out smoothly. Nothing got bent, crimped, broken. It didn't... Yeah, it was just perfect. The only issue that I had, which was an oversight on my part, is I couldn't put the radiator at the top of the case like I wanted to. There just wasn't enough room. It's not made for a 360. So, but it easily fit in the front of the case. There's like a little cutout that you pop out of the power supply shroud down there, and then it just slides right on in. But the lines on the AIO itself weren't long enough for me to be able to put the tubes at the bottom. So I had to run it with tubes at the top, which isn't that big of a deal. It still runs perfectly fine. It just... When I turn it on, I can hear the water like slosh around for a second, and then it's perfect. I would have liked to have given you guys like some before and after thermals and stuff like that for this case, but because I'm replacing the radiator with something much bigger, it would have completely screwed all the data anyway. But it does run surprisingly cool. Like, this runs cooler than my Be Quiet case, my Be Quiet Dark-Base 700 that I have for my personal PC. With the same size radiator, in a different orientation, this PC runs miles cooler than my PC. The airflow in this case is unbelievable. Like, there's no impedance anywhere. It goes through the front, out the top and the back. Very simple with relative ease. And it looks fantastic while you're doing it. I was kind of struggling to find things to talk about at this last part of the video here. I mean, all I'm doing is zip tying up cables and making it so they fit into those little sections easier. But I mean, building a PC is quite simple to begin with, so it's not like I really needed to commentate on everything, but I just didn't want dead air with me like sitting here watching a time lapse of me putting a GPU in. It seems kind of boring, but whatever. But here we are now, kind of at the end here. Do my little peel. Skirp. And there it is. That's the Lian Li LANcool II mesh. It's a fucking awesome case. It's everything you could possibly hope for in a PC case. I mean, I've worked with a lot of PC cases in my time, and this one has got to be my favorite. I thought I liked my Dark-Base 700 a lot, but this one's just, it's got everything. Everything seems to be really well thought out and put together really nicely. The quality of the case feels really solid, and the finish is really nice. The only problem that I had with this case is one of the front RGB fans doesn't light up. It spins, but it doesn't light up. And I've contacted Lian Li about a replacement, and they've been giving me the runaround with, you know, send me pictures, send me videos, send me this, send me that. It's just like, can you just replace the fan that doesn't light up, please? It's that simple. It's not like it's a big deal for them to just give me a new fan, but that being said, everything else is perfect about it. The case looks great. The thermals are fantastic. The computer runs 10 times better than it did before. So if you like this video, and you like my content here on building a PC, and you want to see more content like that, go ahead and give the video a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ta-ta for now.
It's me. It's been a while. This is about sending you a alert. Can you do a close-up for me? I'm dead! Thanks, Hanzo! Dang it! Oh, no! Look like, dude. Fuck! Got me. Get up there. Touch that. Oh.
On the back is you from behind. This way.
Got him.
You fucking mouth. Watch out, Nismo.